You know, Peter, we're coming up to Thanksgiving, and I think it's fairly appropriate that we say what we're thankful for. So I'll start by saying that I'm thankful to Sony Pictures UK and the guys at For the Love of Horror for inviting us to a very special preview screening of the movie Thanksgiving. What are you thankful for?
You didn't prep us for that, did you?
Had that planned all day.
I'm thankful for popcorn and hot dogs, nachos, and great big buckets of Diet Coke.
You're not thankful for seeing the awesome slasher movie that is Thanksgiving?
Well, no, because you just said that, didn't you?
I said I was happy to go to the screening, Peter.
No, you said I'm thankful for the good fellows out there.
Anyway, Thanksgiving. So this is the new slasher movie from Eli Roth, best known for directing Hostel, and he also did a movie I love called Knock Knock with Keanu Reeves, kind of a home invasion style movie. I love this. I thought this was fantastic. I think this is like an amazing throwback to not Scream, but like the kind of Scream-esque movies that came out in the late 90s. Your I Know What You Did Last Summer and Valentine and Urban Legend and kind of movies like that. Just a good whodunit slasher.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought it was exactly the same. I thought it had very much a kind of a feeling of I Know What You Did Last Summer to me. I thought it was great. I enjoyed it from start to finish. I thought there was some really interesting kills in it. I was worried that they'd given away all the good kills, and I don't think they have.
Most of what you see in the trailer is sort of the lead up to the kills. The trailers hide so much of this movie, and there's even, and I won't give away where in the movie this is, but there's some shots in the trailer that I think have been put there to kind of misdirect you during one particular sequence.
Absolutely. And they've done that well, because I got a shock at that particular sequence because I was expecting something else to happen.
The kills in this are so over the top and just horrendous. There's a kind of a semi-scalping bit.
Yeah.
That was just
Yeah.
just horrible. Some that you see in the trailer, like the girl in the oven, was like pretty hardcore, and kind of a bit after that involving the kind of leftovers of that were
Leftovers. I like what you did there. That's good.
Well, there will be no leftovers.
That was a Thanksgiving gag. I like that. Well done. I was quite surprised at how gory some of them were. There's a couple that gave us a shock because I wasn't expecting them, and it was pretty graphic. But yeah, I thought it was amazing. And a lot of practical special effects as well. It didn't feel
I think
CGI.
mostly, like I didn't really clock any CG at all, and there's a lot of kind of squibs and must be bags of meat like made up to look like heads that just get squashed. John Carver is the slasher mascot of this movie. I loved him. I love the design. I love the pilgrim look. I think in terms of like how he moves around, he's very creepy. The kind of stalking sequences is one particularly great one in sort of an arts and crafts room in a school that I absolutely loved. But he's so fast as well. There's a lot of kind of bits where he's kind of hanging out in the background and characters are walking past not noticing. That's the kind of thing from Halloween I love as well. So I think this is definitely the most significant new horror icon to come about.
In terms of his physical performance, it is quite like Scream. He's not just kind of gently plodding around. Do you know what I mean? He's jumping over things and smashing through walls and stuff. And I think you're right. I think this is a franchise more than a standalone movie.
Oh, 100%. We're getting 5 of these at least, I think. I'm geared to see it. But like, I just love the kind of the theme of using Thanksgiving implements to kill people. It's just really fun. And they get very creative with that, I think, as well.
I mean, sick. I still wince at the corn things in the ears.
Yeah, that's a rough one. Yeah, absolutely.
Some of the kills really made us wince. Some of them were quite uncomfortable to watch. And not because of how graphic they were, but just because you can almost picture that happening in real life. There's one in a sports hall, which really freaked me out with a young lady. That's a horrible one. I thought the performances were, like I said, you've said it's a bit like, you know, some of those early kind of horror movies, like I Know What You Did Last Summer. So it's got the same kind of acting chops to it in some regards, if you know what I mean. I
think there are some really great performances in this, and I think this is on purpose because Eli Roth knows what we're here to see. We don't care about character development. I can't even really name any of the characters in this, like off the top of my head.
I don't think I liked any of them. I didn't feel connected to any of them. The Russian girl I quite liked, but the rest of them I don't think I connected necessarily with anything. That's not a bad thing. It's not a criticism.
We're here to see them get killed.
Yeah,
you know.
absolutely.
So I think that's on purpose. Like I don't, you know, and again, that's sort of what was a failing of those kind of 90s slasher movies. I think here it's sort of done in homage to those as well. The setup of this movie is there's sort of this Black Friday sale that kind of goes RE, and that's the thing that does happen in real life. Like you can watch footage of just people going absolutely mental, and some people have died. And I think this movie during that sequence has a real like Final Destination kind of vibe to it, of the pieces are being put in place, and just the kind of payoff for a lot of that is just incredible.
Yeah, I agree. So again, without spoiling, James, what did you think of because obviously at the end of the movie you will find out who the killer is. Was that a surprise to you?
No.
Yeah.
It sets up various characters, and like, you know, you can have a character that looks so obvious, Billy in Scream. It's so clearly him when you know that it's him, but in the movie you're probably thinking for the first time, oh, can't be him because that's too obvious. So like, I was never 100% confident who it was going to be, but I kind of figured at a point. But then I never really clocked like a motivation.
Yeah. Didn't get the motivation at all until it was kind of delivered. I had somebody else in mind as the movie went on because I thought they were very clever at laying hints for a certain character. So I was a bit surprised at the end, but it was a great outcome, shall we say. It was good fun. I thought it had inventive kills. I thought it had great practical special effects, which is always a winner for me. And overall, a really, really enjoyable movie.
For me, like, what I love about this is it can be quite sadistic to the victims, but tonally it's never overbearingly dark, I think, in the way the Hostel is. You know, it's a fun popcorn movie. We don't get slashers that often nowadays. All the rage in the 90s, but now it's really just Scream. So just to see a new slasher movie come out with like this kind of gimmick, I'm loving it. I'm all for it, and I'm so happy it's here, and I'm so happy, like, I absolutely loved every second of this, and I really hope this continues on.
One of my new favorites, I think.
So that is our review for Thanksgiving. Thank you guys for watching. We will have a spoiler review out on Friday when the movie drops, so check that out if you want to know who John Carver is, or if you've seen the movie and want some spoilery thoughts on that. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you then.
Bye.
Let's see.